Hi y'all, welcome to your ritual tone. We're going to start in a seated position with our hands at our knees and just start to circle through our center, starting to warm up our spine. Today we're going to be working on hip work and ab work. These movements will be timed. They're going to challenge you. You're probably going to feel sore, but it's going to feel like a nice hip opening and a lot of work for your core. We're circling the opposite direction now, releasing through your shoulders, face and jaw. A couple more. Let's swing our legs around, come down onto our back. All the way down, bring your feet just in line with your hips, arms by your sides. We're gonna start with our palms facing up, driving our heels down into the mat. We're just gonna tuck our tailbone under, pressing our low back down into the mat, and then return to a neutral pelvis. Starting to move into that posterior position, isolating this movement just to your pelvis, tucking under, and then releasing. Let's do 3 more. Exhale, pushing the air out of your belly, inhaling into your ribs. 1 more. With your arms by your sides, palms facing up, we're going to press up into a bridge, tuck under, squeeze your glutes. Straight line, knees to shoulders. Inhale, exhale, lengthen down, reaching your tailbone towards your heels. 3 more, driving from your heels, connecting to the back of your legs. And then lengthen all the way down. 1 more. Inhaling at the top, exhale, lengthen down. Let's slide our hands up, bring them back behind your head, interlace your fingers. Lift your head and chest, pulling your ribs down to the mat. Inhale, lower. Exhale to lift. So we were working with that flexion of your pelvis. We're now gonna keep your pelvis nice and neutral, hips squared to the ceiling. And we're just gonna work with the flexion of your upper spine. Using your breath to initiate that movement, not to your neck. Pushing the air out of your belly. 3 more. See if you can notice if you're lifting a little to more than one side. Maybe you're pushing into one of your heels a little more. See if we can even that out. We're going to keep your head and chest lifted. Float your right leg to tabletop. Float the other leg to tabletop. And then wrap your shoulders down and back. Let's inhale our right leg forward. Exhale, pull it back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Working with that neutral pelvis so your hips are facing the ceiling. Using your breath to initiate that movement. Fingers are interlaced. Your thumbs are wrapped around the bottom of your skull. If this feels like too much to keep that other leg at tabletop, you can also have that leg down. Inhaling the leg forward, drawing it in from your exhale. We're going to start to rotate toward that knee as it comes in. Bring it down, keeping your elbows wide. Inhale, exhale, rotate. Lifting up onto one shoulder blade. Taking your time here, make sure that we're not working from your neck. Inhale to reach, exhale. Head is heavy in your hands, using your breath to initiate that movement. Trying to quiet your thoughts here if they're starting to refuse. 2 more, stay connected to your body. 1 more. Let's hug your knees in, lower your head and chest. Roll side to side, releasing through your lumbar spine. We are going to take our legs back to tabletop, hands back behind your head. Let's go for the left leg. Inhale forward, exhale back. Head is heavy in your hand, shoulders drawing down. Really using that breath to initiate the movement, noticing that connection between your exhale and that exertion, that hard part of the exercise. Shoulders drawing down. See if you notice any tension coming up into your neck. Try to release it and send it into your abdominals. We're going to add that rotation now, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach, exhale, back. There's a funny thing that happens with this one. Our opposite leg always wants to try to participate. So we're going to try to isolate this just to that rotation and that left leg pulling in. Trying really hard to just stabilize that opposite leg, neutralize it. Exhale. 3 more. And 2. Last one. Hug your knees in, lower your head and chest. Beautiful. Let's take our legs down, turn them out, heels in, toes out. Interlace your fingers again back behind your head. We're going to press up into a bridge, squeezing at the edge of your glute. Inhale at the top, exhale, lengthen all the way down. As we lift our head and chest, bring your knees in, close your elbows in. Open them back up, drop. So you'll notice we're now coordinating the knee movement with our arms. We're also coordinating the pelvis movement with our thoracic spine. So both are flexing in, knees are closing in, and then we open both legs and arms back out to the side. Drawing knees to chest on that exhale, on that exertion, and then driving hips to the ceiling, squeezing the edge of your glute. 3 more here, being mindful that we're not pressing from our low back. We're pressing from our glutes. 1 more. Stay here, open the elbows to your peripheral vision, reach both legs forward, exhale, pull back. Inhale forward, exhale back, pushing air out of your belly. Knees coming in toward your chest, head is heavy in your hands. If this feels like too much, you can go back to single leg alternating. Keeping your pelvis nice and neutral. The lower you take your legs, the more challenge for your abs. You want to make sure that you are not arching through the lumbar spine. If 45 is where you're at today, stay there. Check in that your shoulders have not risen up toward your ears. For 4, 3, 2. Leave the legs out. We're going to pull the right knee in, reach it back, and switch. The switch is now from a straight leg position, a little more challenging than from a bent knee position. This is tough. Quiet your mind. Just work with your body. Exhale. You can do this for 2 more each way. 1 more each way. Beautiful. Bring the knees in, lower your head and chest. Whew. Let's cross the ankles, roll it up. If you are using leg weights today, we are going to start with our left leg. So I've got a 2-pound weight that I'm working with today. You can also do a 1-pounder up to 3. Okay, we are going to start in a quadruped position. I'm facing this direction so that you can see my working leg. And we're going to start with that working leg out in front in a lunge position. I'm going to take my arm, windmill back, lower down into a lunge. Now, when I start here, this is before we get started, let's make sure that your heel is under your knee and then we wrap open. From here, push into that heel. Lower to your opposite form, kick back. Here's our arabesque position, pulse up from the edge of your glute. We're going to be doing this for a while, so make sure that you don't get too frustrated with the transition. You've got time to figure it out. Big step forward, open up, push into the heel, bending through and then lowering to your forearm, squaring your hips open. Reach, push into the heel, hand comes down, then the forearm, hips are open, squeeze up from the edge. Using that lunge to open that opposite hip flexor, tailbone is tucked in this position, squeeze up from the edge of your glute. Lean into it. Open, push, bring it back. From the edge. So we're working from a stretch into that toning exercise. Really opening through the front of the chest as you reach back, opening through the hip flexor on the right. Transitioning with your hand down, then to the forearm, then we squeeze up. We're gonna stay down in this position, pressing up one straight leg. You're gonna wrap your shin back and press up into your attitude. Straight, lift, sweep, and press. Attitude is the exact same position of your thigh bone. You're just sweeping your shin back and forth. So if you were to look down at your knee, it would be right in line with your hip. You can have your gaze down, but try not to let your head drop out. Squeezing up from the edge of your glute, lengthening through your crown. Try not to let your knee come forward. Breathe here. Shoulders down. Pulsing right from the edge of your glute, connecting to that edge. Making sure we're not leaning too much on our shoulders. Weight is back in our hips. Let's step forward into that lunge. Open up. Push your hips forward. Knee is over your heel. Hand, forearm open, hips squeeze up. That supporting side glute is helping to stack our hips one over the other. Step it forward, wrap. Push into the heel, activating through that leg before you even take it behind us. Then actively squeezing from the edge of your glute to pulse that leg up. Notice I'm not pulsing very high. It's just a little engagement, making sure that I'm keeping that pelvic alignment. Lean, push, reach. Shoulders down. If at any time the weight feels like it's too much, you can always take it off. Listen to your body. We want to be challenged, but not straining. Let's stay down, pulse up once with that straight leg, bend once with the bent. Notice my hips are open, my gaze is down. I'm down on my opposite forearm, head in line with my spine, and up on that left hand. Check in that your shoulders aren't rising up toward your ears. You should be feeling this right at the edge of your glute where it meets your outer thigh, maybe some outer thigh. You might even be feeling that supporting side glute. That is not wrong. Almost there, breathe through it. It's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna come up to our hands, cross our knees, so we're dropping our left knee over our right. And then you're gonna take your opposite hand, reach it to the ceiling. This is my right hand. You're gonna come down onto your forearm, open those hips, swing kick toward me. Cross, open, hand to the ceiling, forearm, and swing. These movements are not necessarily about how they look. They're also not necessarily about how many we do. They're about how many we do from the right place. Spiraling open to the ceiling, opening through the front of your chest, getting an opportunity to really expand through the front of your chest, through your shoulders. Then lowering to your forearm, our hips lean to the opposite side, counterbalancing. Your body's smart, it knows what to do. It is helping you to not fall over, which is why you're gonna start to feel this on that opposite side. Cross squeeze inner thighs, reach, reach, reach. Take your time in that position and then kick it out to the side. On this next one, we are gonna stay down. You're gonna swing kick, lower to both forearms, closing your hips to the ground, flex your foot, drive up donkey. Up to your hand and kick, leaning your hips to the right. Realign, drive up. Now I really barely have any weight here on my shoulders, on my elbows. I'm keeping that weight back in my hips. As much as it burns, keep it to the lower body. Try to stay out of your shoulders. We already carry so much tension, so much stress in our shoulders from lifestyle just to general stress that maybe has nothing to do with our work or our social life. Sometimes it's just there in the shoulders, and we're gonna try to get out of that space. Drive from the heel, and then reach through the toes. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's cross. Rotate open, hand to the ceiling. Oh, feels good to open up. Let's swing kick. Now, if the swing kick becomes too much, you can start by taking your weight off. See how that feels. If that is still too much, or you're just like, my leg doesn't do that, try a knee pull in towards your shoulder. Not all of these moves are gonna work for everyone. We all have different bodies, different abilities, different skills, different flexibility. So there's always options. It doesn't mean we're not pushing ourselves. It actually means we're just modifying so that it actually works better for our body, which actually will just make it harder in the best way. Cross. In order to not fall over in this position, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those inner thighs. Reach your hand to the ceiling, lower form, and kick. Cross open. Drop, reach. Opening up. Lower to the form, reach. We're gonna stay down, swing kick, lower to both forms, donkey press. Driving up from the edge of your glute, cross reach. Shoulders drawing down. Reach. That supporting side is probably on fire. I know mine is. Stay with me. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's open up our knees, sit it back, stretch that out in a rest pose. All right, y'all, one more on this side. We're gonna come down all the way onto our right side. We're gonna be on our forearm. We're gonna pull that top knee in, rotate open. So we've got our left arm reaching back. It is a row to the floor, knee to chest. Then you're gonna bring that leg to the side, give it a little lift. One more move to add on, you're gonna turn it open and kick to the ceiling. Again, you don't have to have this kind of flexibility. It's just that difference from a outer thigh lift to a turned out externally rotated lift. So let's try that. We're gonna pull the knee in, exhale. Inhale through your transition, lift from the outer thigh. One more lift, bring it up. It's a pull. And a reach lift. And then a Jane Fonda kick to the ceiling. Here are your modifications. Exhale, pull the knee in. You can tap the floor, give it a little rest, then lift it up, tap it again. If the Jane kick is too much, try knee pull in toward your shoulder. So I'm gonna show that as a full modification. Rest, lift, rest, knee in. Full move, we pull knee, lift without touching, and then kick to the ceiling. For me, the Jane kicks feel really good. Feels like a nice stretch for my hamstring. There's a little bit of freedom in that movement for me, but that is not necessarily always the case. So you can always modify by bending that knee in. All right, y'all, we are gonna stay here. You're gonna push up on your forearm, kick the leg up, lower it back down, and then pull both knees in toward your chest. So we place our forearm nice and rooted on the mat. Lift your bottom hips, lift the top leg. Lower down, I know, both knees, bring it in. Modification, don't lift your hips. Just lift the leg and pull both knees in. Totally an okay option. Lift, both knees in. We do rock back a little bit onto our sit bone. This one is working our bottom oblique, bottom glute, top side outer thigh. This one's tough. If you're like, wow, this is harder than I thought it was gonna be, you're not wrong. This is a full body move. 10, 9, 8, 7, watch that top shoulder. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whoo! One more time. Here we go. Let's pull the knee in, rotate, reach it out, lift, turn it open, kick. That's always a nice relief. Bring it, lift it, try it with a knee pull if that feels like too much. That nice rotation, opening through the front of your chest. Kick it up. Lift and kick. This is our last one on the side. I know this side is starting to tire out. Stay with me. We will have a little intermission before we go to the other side. Now you can also do these from all the way down on your side if your shoulder is starting to tire out. Try to get that rotation as well. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, here we go. Let's press up, lift. That leg is right in line. Squeeze your glute. Bring it down, pull both knees in. Exhale, that is a crunch. Lower down, lift, press. Both knees. If you're feeling that top hip flexor, that is okay. Think about activating a little more through your glute. Maybe flex your foot. It's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whoo, bring it down. Let's open up our knees. Get a little butterfly stretch, stretch out that hip flexor. Maybe a quick figure 4, rocking your hips side to side. Switch the figure 4 to the other side because we know both sides were working. All right, let's take that leg weight off. We're gonna find an all fours position. Hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes under. Pike your hips up to the ceiling, extend at your knees. Sit your weight back until you can drop your heels. And then we're gonna bend back into that position. To a hover, we push up, reach heels. Roll through the feet, lower. Abs, hamstring stretch. Drop, shoulders down, pike and reach. Shoulders drag down, pulling from below your shoulder blades. 3 more. Big stretch. Lift. Drawing your navel to your spine at the bottom. Last one. Good. Drop your knees down. Open. Sit it back. Stretch it out. One more thing here before we move to the other side. You're going to bring your knees together. Lift your shins. Walk your hands out in front. Elbows are going to track towards your ribs as we lower down into a push-up. Exhale, press up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Only going down as far as you can without dropping your head out. Inhale down, exhale up. Give me 3 more. Last one. Sit it back. Rest pose. We've already forgotten all about that other hip. Let's take that leg weight onto your right side. This is gonna feel really good because we're gonna stretch that hip flexor that we were using on the other side. So we're gonna take our right leg forward. Other hand is down, left hand, reach back. Ooh, big stretch. We're gonna place that hand down, lower to your forearm, weight is back in your hips, pulse up from the edge of your glute. Here we go. Bring it forward. Big stretch. Bend it through, hand down, then forearm down, open hips, pulse. Carry it through. Open. Push off the heel. Hand, forearm, open, pulse. Leaning into that stretch to open through your hip flexor on the opposite side. Taking your time and then driving from your heel to bring yourself into that nice, beautiful, open and long arabesque position. We're gonna stay down in this position, pulse once with a straight leg, wrap your shin back, pulse once in an attitude. Hips stay open the whole time. All we're doing is swinging that shin back and forth. Thigh bone stays in the same place in space. That place is right in line with your hips, so if you look down, you should not be able to see your knee. Your pelvis is stable because your abs are engaged. Shoulders drawing down. Squeeze from the edge of your glute. Weight is back in your hips. Breathe through it. There is a little bit of oblique work here at that top side, so if you're feeling it there, that is not wrong. Let's go back into our lunge, swing it forward. Open. Push off the heel. Hand, form, hips open, pulse it up. Taking your time in that lunge to really open through the front of your chest and that opposite hip flexor, pushing off your heel, starting to engage that working side, and then slowly lowering to your form to get your hips more open and protect your low back. Almost there. Let's stay down, pulse up. One straight leg, one bent, squeezing from the edge. Breathing through it, shoulders down, gaze is down, but head is not dropped out. It might look like my foot is pointed, but I'm really just trying to relax through my foot and think of this reach happening from the back of my leg, almost like it's reaching out through my heel, but I don't necessarily have to flex my foot to make that happen. It's that mindful movement, that mind-body connection to the back of your leg. Shoulders drawing down away from your ears. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's come up to both hands, cross the knee. Squeeze your inner thighs, find your stability, reach your hand to the ceiling. Lower down to your form, swing kick or knee pull toward me. Carry it over that invisible box, cross and open. Lower form, sweep. We're not going for speed. We're going for precision of movement. We're not going for looks either. We are just trying to move from the right place, feel this in the right place. And those places are your opposite glute, your outer thigh, a little bit of abs, stretch for your shoulders, inner thighs as we cross the knees. Taking our time to find that beautiful rotation, maybe taking your gaze to the ceiling if that doesn't set up your balance too much. Sometimes taking our gaze toward that reach actually helps us coordinate a little better. Good. On our next one, we are going to stay down. We're going to swing kick. And then we're going to come down to both forearms, close our hips, flex our foot, and press donkey. Open, lift to your hands, sweep. Close it down, drive heel. Open, reach. Yes. Drive heel. So even though we're mostly going to feel these in our glutes, this is spinal work. We are rotating and flexing our spine. And then we're keeping it in this nice neutral position with our shoulders away from our ears, which is technically posture work. So if you think of this as a full body experience, which you might already because you can feel it, it truly is. Drive from the edge. Open reach. Close it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross it. Before you take your hand off, make sure you're stable. Reach. Lower form, sweep kick, or knee pull. Good. Cross, open, lower, reach. Squeezing from the inner thighs. Lengthening out through your toes. Leaning your hips slightly over to the left as you sweep kick to help counterbalance that leg lift. All right, y'all, let's stay down. Sweep both forearms. Press it up. Come up to your hand. That's gonna help you open your hips, help you balance, and help you lean a little bit to the opposite side. Carrying over that invisible box. Shoulders drawing away from your ears. Thinking about the edge of your glute as you drive your heel to the ceiling like you're trying to stamp the ceiling with your foot. We're not changing the angle at the knee. We're just moving the thigh bone up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do a quick rest pose before we go into our final move for this side. Stretch it out. Let's come down onto our left side now. We're gonna pull that top knee in, rotate open, kick it out to the side, give it a lift, and then Jane kick to the ceiling, rotate open. Trying not to sink into our shoulder here, especially as you go into your Jane kick. Knee to the front, lift, modification, you can bend your knee in towards your shoulder. Rotating open for that spinal rotation, opening through the front of your chest. Always trying to counter anything that we've done today. If it's rounding our shoulders, we're gonna try to open them. If it's flexing our spine, we're gonna try to extend it. All that good stuff. All right, y'all, we've got one more of these and we're gonna go into that second move. Root yourself in that bottom elbow, lift your hips off. Both knees come in towards your chest. You can take your gaze down if you're feeling that in your neck. Really squeeze your glutes, bottom side. If this feels like too much, remember you can just stay down. Looks like this, just the lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last set of exercise for today. Here we go. Pull the knee in, rotate open. Reach it to the side, lift it. Turn your knee toward your shoulder, kick it up. And remember, you can always come all the way down onto your arm if it's that time to give yourself a little rest. But we are gonna finish this all the way to the end. You're gonna stay with me. Whichever version you're choosing, weight on, weight off, shoulder down, shoulder up. Stay here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Find that position of the arm. We lift. Lower down, both knees, exhale. Yes. Exhale, breathe into your top side oblique, row that arm behind you. You can also keep the hand in front for both moves if that helps you get a little more stability, a little bigger lift. It's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, finish all the way, and 1. Whew. Let's take that leg weight off. Find your butterfly, soles of your feet together. We'll take our left leg over our right. Scoot your hips towards your heel, rock left and right. Switch legs. Let's find a tall seated position facing me. Cross-stitch your ankles, take your hands to your knees. Let's finish as we started, circling through our center. That's also going to release that hip that might be tight right now. Switch, letting yourself kind of lazily start to circle through the center. Try to let everything release. Nothing needs to be tight anymore. Good, bring your hands to your knees, roll your shoulders up, back and down. Tilt your chin towards your chest, float your arms overhead. Interlace your fingers, press to the ceiling, shrug up. Exhale, bring it down, one more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Shake your hands out. Beautiful work today, y'all. That was a tough one. See you next time.